Cowboy Nation. The tight end room, the tight end situation, especially getting back to 12 personnel. One can argue that 12 personnel is the way to go for the Cowboys. We got a lot of people in this room. And on top of that, Dalton Schultz. He is the franchise tight end. They paid him the franchise tag, under the franchise tag of $11 million to work out his contract. Now, granted, these guys look at other guys' contract money, and they're going to say, hey, I deserve at least north of what this guy got because of my stats and my accolades and what I was able to do. Before we get started with Dalton Schultz, he had 78 receptions, 808 yards, and 8 touchdowns with only 3 drops, and passer rating when targeted was 122.1, meaning that he was a perfect safety valve. He was the quarterback pressure relief valve too. So Dalton Schultz. And the Cowboys went and drafted Jake Ferguson to complement Dalton Schultz, who could be Dalton Schultz 2.0 when you look at everything, especially the tape. Here's the problem, the conundrum. David Njoku just got paid a bag. And on top of that, if you double what Dalton Schultz did, yeah, that would be cool. I will understand that. But Dalton Schultz doubled what David Njoku did. And David Njoku never played to the level of what you've seen out of Dalton Schultz. Last season, David Njoku had 36 receptions, 475 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now, different type of tight ends, but here's the problem. When you start talking about negotiating money or what have you, David Njoku got a 4-year deal of $56 million, pretty much 28 of that million's guaranteed, and I believe his signing bonus was like 30 or 35 or something like that, give or take. That's a lot of coins. But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. Dalton Schultz going to want that money now, right? But he still have to prove it. He signed a franchise tag, and we have 1 year for Dalton Schultz under that. Unless we look into this contract and we spread it out just like what the Cleveland Browns did for their tight end. Now, with that being said, the Cowboys also have Jeremy Sprinkle, Sean McEwen, Ian Bunton, who will be wearing the 89 jersey number that Blake Jarwin wore. So he will be wearing 89. And then you have Peyton Hendershot. One can argue, before we get into great details of Jake Ferguson and how he can help out this team, one can argue if he get a shot, he may just be better. And that's Peyton Hendershot, Cowboy Nation. I believe that he's a little bit quicker on the feet at the top of the route. He's a little bit smoother to me, and he can hop on and pull it out of the sky. So Peyton Hendershot, if he's given the opportunity and the chances. Now, the problem is 9 times out of 10, the quarterback that will be throwing him the ball will be your third quarterback or your fourth quarterback who's trying to make the team. It will be somewhere along the lines of those guys, and he will have to shine and showcase his talent amongst the less talented quarterbacks out there. But neither here nor there. Everyone got to showcase their talent when they get out there on the field. Now, with that being said, the notion of going back to 12 personnel, one, establish the presence of power. Yes, you can get there by establish the presence of power, meaning that if they play quarters defense or if they are in a pass pro defense, they have to respect and play the defense honest because you presenting power and you can run out of it. And the Cowboys all off season talking about getting a little bit more physical. We call it's Mr. Nasty time. You got Tyler Smith. Oh, excuse me. If you get back into 12 personnel, you can pull him and get him in front of said opposition to maul people over. That's what I'm looking for. That physical mentality to get back to running the ball, forces teams to get back into single high safety look, and now you have the one-on-ones to the outside for your quarterback. That would be a better look for this particular team, and you can craft up more and more plays for Kellen Moore to utilize, disguise plays. Now, of course, you can pass out a 12 look, and what I'm trying to do is put my I'm trying to really put my second tight end on a linebacker. Maybe we can vertically stretch this thing, hit and attack the middle of the field. And we must do that, Cowboy Nation, in order to get back to the first half of the football season that the Cowboys were doing when they had Blake Jarwin and Dalton Schultz on the field at the same time. And I believe that sparks up this offense a little bit better. And of course, your most explosive player would be Tony Pollard. Figure out a way to give him the ball, figure out a way to put the ball in the belly of Tony Pollard so that he can work some of those looks too. You just can't be dependent only on Ezekiel Elliott. You guys know that I look at it like this, the big 25 attempts. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm not saying that just because you get 25 attempts, you win the game. No, what I'm saying is you got to figure out a way to play balanced football, and it all starts with the tight end. Get those boys out there. Let's not get too cute with 11 personnel or with your ace formations. And get your tight end out there on the field, establish presence of power, and everything else will work its way out, Cowboy Nation. So shout out to Dalton Schultz. But man, oh man, he's looking at David Njoku situation and saying, I'm about to get paid regardless. And on top of that, Jake Ferguson, you got a lot on your plate because they are already giving you that number 2 tight end role. And Jeremy Sprinkle, he's a glorified blocker. But Sean McEwen, Ian Bunton, and as well as Peyton Hendershot, they got to shoot their shot. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys.
Yeah.